Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Racing Topic Podcast. Today, I am with the three-time Canadian karting champion, Jonathon Treadwell. John, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, Chad. Thanks for having me on here.
Hey, no problem, buddy. It's definitely an honor because I know you're one of the longest tenure drivers in Briggs Senior. You started all the way back in 2003, right?
Yeah, 2003, 2004. Roughly, at Innisfil Kart Club. Season got cut short. I think the track got shut down from noise bylaw, stuff like that. And I went to Hamilton, finished the first season there. Luckily, that championship had 8 drops, and I had missed 8 races. Obviously using up my drops. I ended up winning the championship that first year as well.
Hey.
In 03. I believe it was on a Sodi kart with cable brakes. If you believe that.
Knowing the stuff that we have today, man, that stuff's crazy.
Oh, I couldn't. There wasn't many cable brake systems around at that time. I think the serial number on the cart was 3 digits.
Wow. Only in the early 2000s. Oh my God. Yeah. Man, I would have loved to see that. So you started out racing that. So I know you've been racing 4-stroke for a long time right now. This is your 20th year. Did you ever go to 2-stroke and try that out?
Yeah, I raced a lot of 2-stroke. I would say, the first time I raced 2-stroke was we packed up in maybe 06 roughly. I went to the Florida Winter Tour, and I think we were in the Ocala Speedway parking lot, or the go-kart track there. And we put a Rotax on AM29. I think I was racing with Ferraris at the time. Ever since then, I was never nervous for a race. When I came back here after starting a 2-stroke race, just hopping in it there. And I raced 2-stroke for a long time, up until I think it would have been the last year of that I raced with Green Speed, which was a team owned by Mark and Ted Greenwood. I won many championships, Innisfil Kart Club, Sutton Kart Club, Brian Stewart championships in both 4-stroke and 2-stroke.
Wow.
Had a lot of success in both. Yeah, it was cool.
Hey, awesome.
I'd like to get back. Yeah, it'd be nice to get back into 2-stroke. We'll see.
We'll see. I'll also touch in on, we'll jump forward in time a little bit to last weekend where your little boy, 3-year-old Hendrix Treadwell, jumped back in the little kid kart, starting out his karting career.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of feel like I'm transitioning my focus on him now that he started. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon myself. I'll go as long as I can. I don't want to have don't want to take any years off. We had him out on the weekend. They have a pretty good baby kart program at Goodwood. We got him in there. He had some track time between the race sessions on Saturday. We had some track time on Sunday, and it was good. He's excited. He likes it. I don't have to push him too hard. Not that I would, but he seems to take it on.
Good stuff. So we'll jump back to you here. So you mentioned Green Speed and you mentioned going to 2-stroke and stuff like that. So what were those sort of early years like between say 2006 to 2010 and stuff like that, and even up to early 2013 when the newer modern stuff started to come in? What was it like going through then?
It was busy. It was hectic. My sister and I at a lot of those years, at least some of them, she was racing 2-stroke, 4-stroke, and I was racing 2-stroke and 4-stroke.
Wow.
Those were Brian's Stewart years. We didn't have a mechanic. It was just my dad. Some of our equipment was good. Some of it was throw together whatever we could find, but we did pretty good on it. Green Speed. Yeah, like I said, Green Speed was owned by Ted Greenwood and Mark Steele. Ted was an engine builder. Mark, we had met. I think he was roughly the age I am now when we first met Mark, and we've been racing ever since. Him and I ended up racing 2-stroke against each other and with each other for Green Speed in my senior year. It was good. There was lots of there was street races. There was parking lot races like Down Zoo, Windsor Street Race, even the Barrie Grand Prix. Those are some early years. I raced a few of those, I think.
Wow.
There was a lot of excitement. There's lots going on. Lots of different venues.
Mm-hmm. Even Mont Tremblant back then, right?
No, I don't think really. I went to Mont Tremblant until the ECCC series.
Oh, okay.
There was a good the first 2 years of ECCC. Lots of Quebec people came to the Ontario races. Lots of Ontario racers went there. Those were some good years. I think I was with K&K a lot of those years, especially the earlier ones.
So, and I'll touch on to that now. Do you remember when you went to K&K?
I can't remember the year off the top of my head. It was directly after Green Speed.
Oh, okay.
Mark and Ted sold the team. No particular reason, but we were open to trying something else. Kevin Barrick came back into the sport after being absent maybe a year or two. Came back in, contacted myself and Michael Glaze, as well as part of the program was going to be part of the deal with Kevin originally was with Mike Glaze, myself, and I think both of our sisters were going to have a kart in that deal as well, which was attractive for both. Mike Glaze took it to the Florida Winter Tour that year, a 2-stroke. He raced it before me. That kart, I think, was made in Malaysia.
Wow.
It wasn't a very good. It wasn't a good chassis. The tubing didn't have any rebound strength to it. I was always the fastest on the outlap, but once the racing started the kart just So Kevin went back to the drawing. He went back to the drawing board the next year. I think he had my dad, him and I put our heads together, kind of came up with a chassis design. He got it made by EKS, Eagle Kart Systems, I believe was the first one, or the second version. He later on went to Rigetti, Rodolphi. I don't think changed the product too much, but that's where we were on that. The first year on the lesser quality K&K, the original one, I did manage to squeak out the championship that year. We have no idea how. Came down to the last race at Innisfil. Brian Stewart, Greg Rempel, and Pierce Herder, I think.
Oh man,
were in contention. Then we ended up going to Shannonville, and the two guys that I was in contention with for the championship, I came around in the back bus stop corner at Shannonville. It was Kyle Herder and Greg Rempel. They were one would shut the other guy's motor off so they couldn't get going. The other guy out, ripped the guy's air filter off. I needed a lap. I came around and they were still going at it. So I think at that point, I almost had that championship kind of wrapped up without that.
Man.
But it was pretty entertaining. I know Kevin put a show on in the stands for everybody when that was happening, but yeah, no, that was fun.
Oh, man. Yeah, man, the good old days. I can just imagine them reaching over to each other, trying to grab this stuff off their car, especially at Shannonville, which is one of the fastest tracks we go to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad that track's back on the schedule. It's a blast. So,
yeah.
So, wow. Yeah. You talking about all these drivers and stuff, and we see, and Greg Rempel's risen up again. And come up. Yeah. He's won twice this season at Kart Stars, won the first 2 races at Point Pelee, and then won the Kart Stars Nationals at Shannonville. Pierce Herder, I think he's retired now because he's had twins. So, but who knows?
For now, hopefully.
Yeah. He was always a guy to race against, though. He was always competitive.
Definitely. I never thought I'd miss him on the track, but I think I do. I'll be one of the older guys, but nice to see him.
So touching on that, does it feel sort of different now that you've sort of transitioned to being one of the older, more experienced racers on the track in Briggs Senior, to where like guys like me and younger guys like in their teenage years and stuff have just come up to Briggs Senior and stuff? Because it's not like what it used to be.
Yeah. Definitely. It seems like it came out of nowhere. Really, like it happened quite fast. Next thing I knew, I was kind of looking down on age wise on my competitors, and it just I don't know. It kind of I'd say my I'm a little different. Enjoy competing a little more. The wins come, they're a little more rewarded when they come. The competition's great, and that's what I've always wanted to support is the growth of the sport and the competition.
Yeah,
I feel like it's at an all-time high. I would compare it to those ECCC years like that I was racing a lot of guys that like Matthew Demers, Gerald Casely, I think Kingsley was in there, Simon Violon.
Oh man,
yeah. So there was
those good racers and stuff.
Yeah, but now the competition's good. It's young. I love keeping up to the young guys. I really do. But I like helping them too. Whether they're my competitors, I like to, keep friends on the track. Yeah.
That's good to know. As I found out personally, and I think as a bunch of us as well have found out. So
they giving back to the sport a little more and more stuff. It's always a good feeling.
I would say so. So we'll move on now to sort of the modern era now. We'll go to well, first off, I go to 2014 first, because one of your last years on K&K, and winning that ECCC race at Goodwood with the now iconic crash on the Champ Kart intro with Tommy Lemaire Olette and Jean-Francois Lapontaine running into each other and opening the doors for you and Jordan Latimer. You guys drove that race really well. Also, talk to me a bit about Jordan Latimer when you guys were teammates at K&K.
So I think I was in senior. He would have been in junior. He did well. As I said, he was a junior. I don't think they may not have been in it 100% in karting that the year, like his first kind of senior years. They were the first year or two of his senior year.
Yep.
And before they kind of backed away from the sport, I think they went to racing the whole stuff.
Oh, okay.
But no, he was great. We had a strong team for a number of years. We had at one point it was Jordan, Dale Bonham, Mark Steele was even on a K&K one year. Not in the same year, but I believe Kyle Edgar was on one with us for some time. We had a strong team there. Yeah.
Man, that is a dream team right there. That is some of the most experienced drivers in the entire field and like the history of like Briggs Senior as we know it now. It's like you look at that team and that is a super team for the ages. So you guys had it made.
Yeah, we did.
So I'll go to the next year, which was 2015, which was one of the most stacked Canadian karting championships I think I ever saw. It was their first time. That was my first Canadian nationals as well to watch live. That Briggs Senior race was amazing. So, and it ended up being your first Canadian championship. So, how did that race just go in general with so much competition? And at that time, all the Burrells being up there and you still being on the K&K kart and competing against all these guys up at the front, like Kevin King, Casely, Isaac Merritt was in that, Kyle Herter, Kyle Edgar.
Yeah, it was at the time it was awesome. We felt we had something with that K&K figured out for the Briggs, just a specific Briggs built chassis. Mm-hmm. And ironically, I'm racing for Trevor and Prime on a Burrell.
Yeah.
But that was cool, kind of beating the Red Army, as they say. Definitely rewarding. I haven't watched the video in a while, which another cool thing was that was televised for those
yes.
a number. I remember being in Montreal at a pizza joint and looking in the corner, and my race was on television.
That's great.
Yeah, so I sat there and watched it. That year at the Nationals, that was a big one. I think my in-laws, that was the first race they came to. They got to see that. I believe my grandfather was there. It was pretty meaningful with that one, for sure, for a number of reasons.
So absolutely nailed it that year. And then we move on to one more other thing, the ECCC Championships, because I actually don't know a lot about the knowledge on that. I'm pretty sure you took home a couple of those titles, right?
Yeah, I think I have 2 or 3. Okay. 2 for sure, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. I thought so too. I'm just not sure what years, because they kind of, their points formats kind of go as the years go by. Yeah. So you can't really see them anymore. So
I have a hard time remembering, the individual accomplishments and when they happened. I guess it's a good problem. There's lots of it blends together.
So, and unfortunately, ECCC ended up not being a thing after 2017, I believe. So that cut ties. So then we'll get to, so now we'll move into 2016 to 2018 period, where you once again switched chassis and you went with the Intrepids. How were those to you?
That was great. We always loved working with Dan and Marco. They treated us well. We had a good, we've kind of always tried to maintain the same, or roughly, if not better, deal with, with our partners when we're changing manufacturers or chassis or
yes
that. They've all been good to us, and Intrepid was great. There was some kinks to work out, and I think that was partly one of the reasons we wanted to go there. One of the reasons they wanted us there, we wanted to kind of take that as a challenge and get that kart working. We did some weird things with that chassis. We made some brackets. We kind of troubleshooted it ourselves.
Oh, okay.
There were some braking issues, some support issues in the chassis that kind of were failing. Frank DeLeo actually kind of worked closely with us on it. We came up with something to prove our theory right, and they made changes back in the factory. And then we became a little more successful with that product. It did take off a little slow start. I think that was probably one of my slower years where it wasn't the wins weren't there right away. We kind of had to go put the chassis and some of the components through made the investments and they're fast again.
Good stuff. And it did pay off in the end, because you ended up going on to win in 2017 after another very good race. 2017 Canadian Karting Championship by straight up outmaneuvering Michael Glaze on the last lap coming down to turn 5, almost putting 2 wheels in the grass, still able to get through and holding him off Signoretti and Pierce Herder all the way to the checkered flag. And I also know you had Tyler McCulloch as a teammate as well, who was one of the biggest rising stars out of the Briggs Junior field and up to Briggs Senior. What was it like working with him?
Tyler, I miss him all the time. We loved having him at the track. I loved having him on the track with me. That was one of my closest senior partners, that was under the same umbrella. Tyler's great. And so is Butch. They become real close friends of ours. I do plan on seeing him back on the track. He will be at some point.
Oh, good.
It was really cool. It was really cool to see him when he decided to do shifter. They went at that, and he was just so cool to watch. He had his own style, his own swagger to him. It was, it was awesome to have him around.
Hey, good stuff to know, man. So then we move on to, in my opinion, what I saw, because this was my rookie year, 2018 in Briggs Senior. And whenever you came to the track and re-raced against us, you were virtually unstoppable.
Thanks, Chad. Experience. It does pay off. We did so many laps at those tracks all the time. I don't think I ever went to school on Fridays during the race season. We were at a racetrack or a hockey arena. It is like riding a bike, some of it. Goodwood hasn't changed a lot. Some tracks have changed. Some haven't. It's cool to see. It's cool to be around for that kind of thing.
So then we'll, and of course, your last championship to date, or the Canadian Karting Championship in 2018, with one of the most perfect races I've ever seen done between you and Marco Signoretti. That was definitely a real good one to watch. Unfortunately, I had the luxury of watching that race from the infield of turn 5, because I got taken out of the first lap of that race after being there the entire week. So whatever.
I know how you feel. That was a cool one too. They of course they're all cool. They all had their different reasons, but the one with Signoretti was cool. We had him and I actually were that whole week. Dale Bonham had a really strong engine program at that time. He really had it together. That was with AI Motors when he was working with them. Marco and I, we were switching motors back and forth.
Interesting.
Right up until official race days, and that's just what it was. I think one of the motors kind of seemed to sputter more for me in some of the, like once or twice in one of the corners, so I picked the other one. That was what it came down to. And I believe we set track record at that time.
Wow.
Together, and that was just a nose to tail. I don't think I forget how the race went, but neither one of us left each other's bumper for more than a couple seconds in the lap, and it was just pretty good harmony there. That was fun. He is a strong competitor. I think I ended up moving him in the bowl.
Oh boy.
Slightly off a race line. Didn't take him out.
No.
I know he would have done the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Classic bump and run.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, hey, it's racing, so
it's
man.
Clean as far as that. Yeah, as long as you don't take the guy out.
Yeah, I can see that. So I'll go ahead and take that. So now we get on to the real modern years now, 2019 and onwards now. So beginning of 19, you were still with Intrepid and stuff like that. And then at the end of the season, I think it was September, you decided to go with Trevor Wickens and go the route of the Burrells.
Another that was a big move. I think it was a lot sort of family related, maybe business related wise. Just kind of I don't know. We've changed manufacturers, brands a lot over the years. We've been on lots of different things. For us, it's not it's not super irregular to switch things up and keep it fresh and take on any challenge. Moving to Burrell was awesome. Trevor and Dominic at PSL, like they treat me well. Moving forward with them, it's a strong product. The pace is there. I don't know. Maybe we figured something out since the nationals that I was racing against all the Burrells, but it's a strong product.
Mm-hmm. I would think so. It's in my opinion, and a lot of others right now, it is the best chassis to be on in 4-stroke. A lot of people have been saying that as of late. And we definitely saw it the last couple of years in the Ron Fellows series and the Canadian Karting Championships, where it was virtually all Burrells up at the front.
Yeah.
So including your whole Prime Power team, the trio of you, Jordan Pryor and David Barnes. So you guys seem just, whenever it comes to the big league races, and even Logan Paxa this year stepping up into the fray, you guys just seem to just click with the drafting and qualifying and everything. You guys just able to go 1, 2, 3 so many times.
And like I said, different challenges or different experiences come with these changes we've done over the years, and that's one thing that I found cool in my later years of racing, that just working with a team like that. That I haven't before worked with. The program we have works really well, as you said, when we go to different tracks. We know how to assist each other. We know how to get each other up to speed quickly, efficiently, leave time for testing, stuff like that.
Yep.
There's other things, but it's racing. So you can only try to, prepare everything in advance, but it could go all downhill.
Willy-nilly in a heartbeat, so you never know.
Yeah, but no, I like working with David and Jordan. Great teammates.
Good stuff to know. So you obviously got a real good team around you and a real good program, especially with their alliance with Pro Racing Ontario, which I believe you guys get your engines done by them now. How's that been working out? I think I already know the answer to this one, but
yeah, no, that's great. Actually, we work with a number of engine builders. We like to support the sport as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
We like to have power from more than one engine builder ourselves. I can't speak for my teammates Prime, but I believe they use Pro. They do. They have strong engines. Pro's right there. They're on the ball with their engine program. I just got a motor done from them last week. You raced it.
Yeah, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Great. Steve McElroy gives me power.
Another one.
Yeah, he gives me power whenever I need it. It's there, whether it's his own personal stuff. If we feel we need to leave nothing on the table. But we own one from him. We like to own our own motors. Leave them in the engine builder's hands, but it's nice to own your own power, especially when it's strong. So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So now we're on the back end of 2022 now, with all the major championships and stuff about to come to an end. New year 2023 coming up. What do you see yourself doing more for 2023, and now with your family on the rise and Hendrix on the rise to come up into the karting community?
We obviously don't have all the details worked out, but we want to support as many tracks as we can. We want to bring him out to as many tracks as we can. That was a big reason. That was a big part of my success. Was the variety that I had. So we want to give that to him, but we also want to support the track owners. We're hoping to kind of get around, pick and choose a little more. Mark made mention of it in his cast with you there. It's maybe not going for the championships as much next year. We'll kind of go. There might be some times where we start the weekend out at Goodwood running the baby cart stuff, and end up somewhere else at the end of the weekend. Obviously, schedules will have to be put out. But yeah, we're definitely gonna try to travel a little more. Yeah, not be not same space, not be in the same place for too long.
Yeah, I agree. It's good to get around to all different places and stuff and open yourself up, clear your mind, go to places with your family and stuff, have a good time with your friends and enjoy all the stuff of life around you, especially now since we've gotten out of the pandemic and stuff and things have completely opened up again. So
yeah, absolutely.
So anything else you want to add, John?
No, that's it, Chad.
All right.
Like I said, thanks for having me. I'm sure I'll be on here again.
Yep. I definitely agree with the rundowns that we still got coming and stuff. Probably wherever we end up at CKNA next year as well. That's probably gonna be pretty big. This year was amazing at Goodwood.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Indiana.
That's right.
2 weeks, Newcastle. Amazing. Last time I started there, it was a 76 cart took the start. I've never seen anything like it, so I can't wait to get back there.
I want to race that so bad. Anyway, well, all right. So I guess we've come to the end of the road here. So that'll wrap up this episode of the Racing Topic Podcast. We've hit 10 episodes now, so that's a great thing to have. I would say headset's falling off my head. Anyway, John, thank you so much for being on this episode, man. It's a pleasure to talk to you again and go through your entire career of how you got into this point and all the people that you race with. So
thanks, Chad. My pleasure. Yeah, I think you need more time to go over it in any more detail. Keep it up. I like what you're doing.
All right. Thank you, man. Will do. So anyway, that'll wrap up this episode for everyone there. I'm Chad Webster. Keep it safe, everybody. Until next time, y'all take it easy.